On this here, you can use any type of pie crust you want, you know, any type. You can buy it, you can make it, but I'm going to demonstrate on making one. This is my favorite crust that I like using for everything, mostly everything. And it's very simple and plain. The crust is on this book as well. It's on page, I think it's I don't know, it's 84, page 84. I think it's page 84. Yep, Crumble Nut Crust, and it has two versions of it. The version I'm using is going to be a simple. I like everything simple. You know, making something simple. Okay, so what we're going to do is make the crust first, and of course that calls for 3/4 each of the quick oats, and then 3/4 cups of unsweetened coconut. And I buy this at, usually we go in DeKalb to buy it, but you can get it at any store. I mean, Walmart even sells unsweetened coconut. This is more like a more. The one in Walmart is not as shredded, bigger shreds in Walmart. But either is okay. And let's see, and it calls for, well, I'll put the sugar in and the salt. And I think that's about it. And then you have to blend it up first. And then you use water to moisten it after it's blended up into a fine flour. It's very fast and simple. That's it. Now you got to put in your liquid, your water, and it calls for either 2 tablespoons, 2 or 3, depends, because you want this not to be so moist where it kind of gets hard when you bake it. You want it where it's pressed against your finger where it doesn't fall apart, but it's still moist. And it makes it more tender, more of a tender crust. So I'm going to start off with just 2 tablespoons. That's it, and we'll blend that up and look at it and let's see now. When you press it, it kind of like, when you press against it, it sticks like, because you don't want it too wet. This looks like it's good right there. Yeah, looks pretty good. I might put in just a tiny bit more, not much, just a tiny, tiny bit.
So you put the water and the honey in there?
Yeah, the honey is for a different version of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can use honey if you want.
Oh, okay.
You can use honey in there, but I'm just using the turbinado sugar, and you can use whatever you like, the honey or that. Yeah, that should be enough. I'm going to mix it up. Okay, that looks about right. So what we're going to do is dump this in our pie plate, and we're going to press it. And I'm going to get a piece of plastic. It kind of sticks to your finger, so I mean, you can use a little small sandwich baggie or piece of plastic, you know, to press it again on the pie plate. And it usually sticks in your food processor at the bottom. You get a lot of that stuck on the bottom. And now we're going to press that in the pie plate, just like making a regular pie. You just put it all around, press it up against your pie plate. Can you see? We probably can't even see it. Oh yeah, you can on there. Okay. And then you just put it in the oven and let it bake for about 10 minutes. Sometimes I bake it a little bit more, 10, 15 minutes or so. And that's it. That's all. You got your crust right there. Very simple and very few ingredients. Now the next thing we're going to make is the batter for it. And this calls for peanut butter and honey, and let's see, peanut butter, honey, and tofu. You will not even believe it's tofu because it doesn't taste like tofu at all.
You use the firm or the soft?
You can probably better if you use the firm, but you can use soft. You can try the soft, and it's not going to hurt. The soft, firm, whatever you like to use. It's up to you. And vanilla and salt. So that's only a few ingredients too. And the oil, now, the oil that I use, it calls for a quarter cup of oil. So what I do you guys ever see that peanut butter in the store and it has the oil on top? You know, sometimes when I stir it, I said, that's so much oil. So what I do, I just drain the oil inside like a glass jar, and I keep it in my refrigerator. And I use that when I make these pies. I just use the oil from the peanut butter. I mean, why not? I mean, it's a peanut butter pie. Peanut butter pie. It's not unrefined because it was in the peanut butter. So what we're going to do is mix this all up in the blender. And we're going to put in our honey and see. You know, I should have put the tofu in first. You know, because it'll blend up better that way. But I should have done that first. We'll get our tofu next. Usually I crumble this up a little bit before I put it in the blender, which I didn't do again today. I'm not prepared today. Okay, so we got our tofu in there. Then, let's see, tofu, honey. And that calls for, I think there's a 3/4 cups, is it, of honey? Yeah. Oh. Yep, 3/4 cups. And you know, surprisingly, it doesn't taste as sweet when you make it, but if you want it, your pie sweeter, you can add more honey to it if you want. I did one time, and to me, it tastes better. Because I have a sweet tooth, so it depends on how sweet you like your desserts. Okay, we got that, honey, and it calls for the oil, which I got that prepared already. Then it calls for a teaspoon vanilla and I think it's 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, which is a pinch of salt. Salt, and then we have a teaspoon of vanilla. Next thing we're going to do is blend this up. That takes a few minutes to blend it up. It takes a few more minutes to blend it up. You got to stop it and
There's no water in it.
Yeah, there's no water in it. It's the oil that helps it blend, and also the tofu, because the tofu has sort of like a little bit of water in it. Yeah, a little bit of water in it. It smells good. Okay, so we'll blend it up again. It's almost completely blended. Just a little bit more scraping, I think, on the sides, and I think it'll be fine. But as you finish it too, it's very thick. So when you put it in your cooked pie crust, you see how thick it is? When you put it in your baked pie crust, it's really easy just to, put it in there and just, it's not soupy or nothing. And then you put it in the freezer and that's it. I mean, that's all you have to do, to this recipe. Very simple recipe. I didn't realize that when it's frozen, you can't get the toothpicks out. So the kind of toothpicks are broken. To put this in the bag, I had to break the toothpick. So I don't want any of you guys get toothpick in your peanut butter pie when you eat it. So
it's in the middle of the pie, right?
It's all over my toothpicks.
The toothpicks are all over.
Yeah, because I was putting plastic wrap on it, and I didn't want it to touch the peanut butter. I get it all, the wrap, and well, I won't do that. I won't do that again. But anyways, this is it frozen, and you should take it out at least It says 10 minutes, but to me, 10 minutes isn't long enough. I think to take it out, because I like mine, I don't like it real frozen hard. I like it where it's like in between. So maybe 15 minutes to 20 minutes before you eat it. Or just keep testing it out and cutting it and see what texture you want it at.